Well, with Season of the Plunder, one of our mods that we have is anti-barrier sniper rifles, and we gotta know which ones to use. Which ones are the best for boss damage, and which ones are the best for the things that happen before the boss damage. So, which weapons are gonna suit you in each category? Well, I'm gonna break that down right now. Now, I know that sniper rifles are not entirely in the meta right now. There are a few that stick out in the PvE meta that are very good, and that will always be very good. But considering that these are not super big in the meta, I'm gonna keep this video short and sweet. I'm gonna run through it pretty quickly. So here we go. Let's jump into it. First, let's establish the frames. For all-around content, aggressive frames are the best. They're going to do a lot of damage on each individual shot, so you don't necessarily need to proc different perks to do a decent amount of damage. Then we have adaptive frames. These are just all-around good snipers, but for me, they're the worst of the 3 frames that we have. Adaptive frames are unique in that they kind of sit in between fast firing and good damage, but they aren't fast enough to keep up with the DPS of a rapid fire frame, and they don't hit hard enough to keep up with an aggressive frame. Then we move on to rapid fire frames. Rapid fire frames are going to be shooting the fastest. They're going to have the biggest magazine, but they are the weakest in terms of single bullet damage in all these frames. But they are the best for overall boss damage because they can shoot ridiculously fast. And that speed allows you to pass up an aggressive frame sniper rifle in a boss encounter. Now, a thing to note is if you're not hitting all your shots with a rapid fire frame, you're not going to be doing as much damage as an aggressive frame. An aggressive frame, you can take it a little bit slower and you're going to be getting close to the same amount of damage you can do with a rapid fire frame. So if you don't feel confident in the recoil pattern of a sniper rifle and landing those shots very quickly, then aggressive frames are probably what you're going to want to do in a boss fight over rapid fire frames. But overall, rapid fire frames will put out the most damage. That being said, I'm going to jump right into rapid fire frames first and give you the best option for each element. First up in the kinetic slot, we have the Praedyth's Revenge. This comes from the Vault of Glass raid. If you can get the time loss version, it is a little bit better because you can get some adept mods on it, but that's not a necessity. Perks you want on this weapon are Rewind Rounds and High Impact Reserves. Rewind Rounds is going to give you bullets back depending upon how many bullets you hit after your magazine reaches 0. And then High Impact Reserves is going to give you more damage on the secondary half of the magazine. So once you get to about 3 shots, it's going to do a lot more damage. And it's about what Vorpal would do on this weapon. Moving on from there, we're going to jump into the Distant Tumulus. And this is a solar sniper rifle, and it is a world drop. So just go play any activity and you're bound to get one. And the roll you want on this is Clown Cartridge and Firing Line. This is pretty simple. You stand next to your teammates and you're getting a 20% damage increase on precision hits. And then with Clown Cartridge, when you reload, you're going to get 10% to 50% more ammo in the magazine than you have at base. Moving on from solo, we're going to jump into Arc, and there's only one sniper option here, and it's not great, so I'm only suggesting this because I told you I'd give you one option at least. It is the Apostate, and it comes from the Pit of Heresy dungeon. And the best roll that you could get on this thing is Lead from Gold and Explosive Payload. Explosive Payload is going to give you a little bit more damage, and Lead from Gold is going to allow you to pick up special ammo when you pick up heavy ammo. Finally, for the rapid fire category, we have the Father's Sins Sniper Rifle. It is a Void Sniper Rifle, and it comes from the Wellspring. And the perks you're going to want to run are Enhanced Triple Tap and Enhanced Focus Fury. Triple Tap is going to give you a bullet back every time you hit 3 precision shots. Then Focus Fury is going to give you a 20% damage increase after hitting half of the magazine with precision shots. So moving on from rapid fire frames, let's jump into aggressive frames. Aggressive frames, like I said before, are going to be the best overall sniper rifles. They're going to be really good against champions and majors and everything like that. All that aside, let's jump right into it and talk about our first aggressive frame sniper rifle, and this is the Succession. It is a kinetic sniper rifle, and it comes from Deepstone Crypt. And this is widely considered to be the best sniper rifle in all of Destiny for PvE, and this is all because of its one perk called Reconstruction. Reconstruction is going to reload the magazine up to double its capacity if you do not touch it for 4 seconds. So if it stays stowed for 4 seconds, it's going to start to reload the magazine from the base of 3 shots up to 6 shots. And if you run something like Extended Mag, you can get it up to 4 shots. Now, yes, you sacrifice reload speed, but if you're always stowing it and you're not manually reloading it, there's no point to worry about that because it's not going to affect it. In the second perk column, you have Vorpal. Vorpal is the best overall option. Quick disclaimer for this sniper rifle before you go out and get it. In December, with the launch of Season 19, we're getting an update to the Deepstone Crypt raid, so we're going to be able to craft those weapons. So I would hold off getting the sniper rifle if you don't have it until then, so you can go get enhanced perks and things like that. Moving on from there, we have the Long Walk Sniper Rifle. This is a solar sniper rifle, and it comes from the Prophecy Dungeon. The perks you're going to want to run on this thing are Clown Cartridge and then Firing Line or Frenzy. Firing Line is going to give you more damage if you're standing next to your teammates, and if you're not running piece of content with your teammates, Frenzy is also very good. It's going to give you a 15% damage increase while staying in combat. It's very easy to stay in combat. This thing is basically procced all the time. Then jumping into Arc, we have the Macabre or the Macabre, however you want to say it. This just came from the Festival of the Lost, and there's lots of perks available for this thing. We got triple tap, clown cartridge, auto loading, Vorpal, and high impact reserves. For me personally, I'm going for triple tap and Vorpal. It's just going to put out a lot of damage, but triple tap and high impact reserves are a close second. Really quickly before I move on to Void, I want to talk about the Occluded Finality. It's an Iron Banner weapon. It's no longer available, but if you have it in your vault, what you're looking for is auto loading and Vorpal. That would be a great roll, and it would be really good for people who don't have access to the Macabre. And then finally, for the aggressive frame sniper rifles, we have the Frozen Orbit. It is a Void sniper rifle. It comes from the Crucible, so just go play Crucible and you'll eventually get it. There's lots of perks available for this thing. We got auto loading, lead from gold, triple tap, Vorpal, high impact reserves. These are all great perks. Personally, I'm going for triple tap and Vorpal. It's a great combo, but triple tap and high impact reserves are a very good combo as well. Then lastly, I'm going to talk about the adaptive frames. Personally, I'm never going to use an adaptive frame sniper rifle. It just doesn't fit into my playstyle. It doesn't do enough damage, and it doesn't shoot fast enough, so it's just kind of in a weird spot for me. But I'm going to suggest the best ones for each damage type for you, for those people who do like adaptive frames. First up, we have the Defiance of Yasmin. It comes from the King's Fall raid. You can craft it, or you can get the Herald edition from the Master raid. Both good options, but the craftable one allows you to get enhanced perks. Great perks on this would be Ensemble and Firing Line, both of which are going to help you out when you're standing next to your teammates. Ensemble is going to make you reload faster and improve your handling, and then Firing Line is going to give you increased damage. You can also run Vorpal or Lead from Gold. Lead from Gold is going to give you special ammo when you pick up heavy, and Vorpal is going to give you some increased damage. Then moving on from there, we have our Stasis weapon, and this is the Thoughtless. It comes from the Season of the Risen activity. It is craftable. The perks aren't anything too special. We do have Firing Line, and that's pretty good when you're standing next to your teammates. You're going to be getting some increased damage. We also have Focus Fury, and this is going to give you increased damage when you deal half the magazine as precision damage, so not bad at all, and that's pretty good for people who aren't running in a team. Then for the primary perks, probably want to go for something like Overflow and then maybe Rapid Hit if you really want to. Then moving on, we're going to jump into Solar, and we have three options, but they're kind of in gray areas, and I'll explain that in a second. First of all, we have the Beloved Sniper Rifle. This comes from the Leviathan, so jump on there, go open some chests with some keys. It's a stupid system, but this is how you get it. The only perk worth your time on this is 4th times the charm. Honestly, it's not a very good sniper rifle. If you do want a better option, we have the Uzume RR4. It came from Nightfalls. It is no longer in the rotation, but if you can get triple tap and Vorpal on this thing out of your vault, it's a very good option. And then we also have the Far Future, and this thing can be random. Xur might drop it, and what you can go for is Lead from Gold and Frenzy or Autoloading Frenzy. Those are okay perks, and this is the reason why the Solars are kind of in a gray area, because you can only get this one from Xur, and then the Uzume isn't in rotation, and then the Beloved's not very good. So honestly, for Solar, you're just kind of at a loss in this category. Moving on from Solar, let's jump into Arc, and we've got one option here. This comes from the Tower. It is the Adored Sniper Rifle. You can get it at the Exotic Kiosk. It's just a few legendary shards to pick up. It's definitely worth your time though, because you can get triple tap and Vorpal, and it's very easy to get. Then for my last recommendation for all sniper rifles, we have the F55, because I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, and we have some pretty decent rolls on this thing. We have 4th times the charm and Firing Line, or 4th times the charm and Vorpal. We also have auto loading and Lead from Gold, which are fantastic perks. Again, I'm not going to suggest using adaptive frame sniper rifles. I don't think they're overly good, but for those of you who wanted to know, there you go. And that's really it for sniper rifles. Honestly, if you're going to get one out of this whole list, you should get Succession. Just wait until December 6th when we get that raid update. For most people, that is the only sniper rifle they really use in endgame content anymore, because sniper rifles aren't really part of the meta. Thank you so much for watching, Guardians. If you found this video entertaining or useful, please subscribe and like down below, and be sure to share this video with a friend. It would mean so much to me, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.